Do you recall a time where you just closed your eyes, let your head on the pillow, and it was morning? Or have you seen that for other people, it seems like they consistently just fall asleep as soon as they lay down in their beds? Has either or one of these observations led you to think you've lost the ability to sleep? Well, if so, I am sorry to hear that. It must be very frustrating, of course, but I'm glad that you are here because that's exactly what we're going to talk about here. This is one of the most common things I hear. I've lost the ability to sleep. It's such a common thing you hear in our space, and we're going to cover this today. I hope you'll find a lot of value here that will be really, really helpful. What we're going to go over is three things. Number one, why we think sleep is an ability, and then why we think we lost it, and thirdly, how we find what we are looking for. We're going to jump into it as soon as I just share this very super quick announcement, which is that if you have thought of actually joining the movement as a sleep coach, our next batch starts here in November 15th, and the deadline to apply is in 7 days at the last of October. You can head over to our website and check out the information we have there about sleep coaching. Now, with that said, yes, let us go to our first topic, which is this one: why we think sleep is an ability. And there's something new here that I've never shared before that I hope you'll find helpful, and I'll tell you what this is. But basically, I was pondering this the other week, and I was thinking about how we know that somebody is skilled. How do we know this? How do we know somebody is very skilled at something? If you look up the definition of skill, it just says basically somebody is good at something, right? But really, what I think skill, somebody who's skilled is really able to like reproduce the same results over and over. If we think about dart, for example, throwing the dart, like I may throw the dart and hit the bullseye once, wow, and maybe even a second time, but I'm not a skilled dart player, so I wouldn't be able to reproduce that over and over again. But somebody who was skilled at dart, they could. So when a dart champion hits the bullseye repeatedly, she has skill. We can see that that is a skill. And if we imagine a dart champion who like repeatedly hit the bullseye, when that was their intent, of course, but they stopped doing that. They're no longer doing that so consistently anymore. Then we basically say, she's not that skilled anymore. Her skill is kind of fading. And I think this is true. Like hitting the bullseye with the dart, it is a skill. And when somebody's no longer able to do that, they have somewhat lost their ability, or losing that ability or skill, right? Now, this is the way we think of a lot of things in our world, in our reality. So this can lead us to a situation where when something happens to someone over and over, then we naturally think of this as a skill. We can naturally think of this as a skill. So for example, when our partner falls asleep within a few minutes of closing their eyes every night, night after night, like, because of what we just talked about, this can easily look as a skill. And what's new here today in this video that I've never talked about before was really just this this realization that when somebody's able to do something over and over again, we think of that as a skill, but sometimes it isn't. Okay, and as I'm sure most of you who are have been here for a while, that sleep is not a skill. And if you're new to the channel, welcome, and I hope you find something already here that is helpful to you. But yes, sleep is not a skill. It really isn't a skill. And here is proof. If we go back to our two, the two examples we have here, our dart champion and our partner who sleeps every night in a certain way. Imagine asking both of them how they became so good at what they're doing. Imagine the dart champion asking them, like, how are you so good at what you do? And our partner, like, what do you do to sleep so well? And they will tell us very different stories. Like this dart champion, this has probably been like their life passion. So this dart champion will tell you, oh, every morning I start by exercising this way, I hold it like this, I started like that. They will tell you how much they've practiced, how much effort they put into becoming so good at what they do. You can see that, yeah, this is a skill. They're telling us a story of a skill. Versus our partner who's sleeping well, they will go like, I don't know, there is no effort there. There is absolutely no effort there. So we can, we can see quite clearly that even though we can be confused and we can start thinking that sleep is a skill, it really isn't. Sleep is not a skill or an ability that can be lost. And why this is so helpful, of course, is that when we think like, oh, I've lost a skill, I've got to refine it again, I've got to do something to make myself, sleep again, then we're in this path of effort. And as we saw in the example from our partner, sleep is effortless, passive process. The more we try, the more struggle we have, right? Which is, there's a lot of teaching about that, so I'm not going to go into that, but rather I'm going to go into number 2 here, which is why we think we lost this skill, we lost an ability. Well, quite natural. We're not sleeping, and we look back in the rearview mirror in the past, and then, oh, in the past, this used to happen consistently when I did this, but now it's not. I've lost a skill. Or we look at other people and we see like, oh, this consistently happens to them. They must have a skill that I have not lost. So that's why it looks like we lost it. But now here's the thing now. At this point, if I'm saying that sleep is not a skill or an ability that we can lose, then the natural follow-up question becomes, so why am I not sleeping? If you're saying that it's not a skill or ability that can be lost, why am I not sleeping? I'm literally not sleeping much at all right now. Well, the confusing thing here is that we cannot lose an ability that nobody has. We can't lose that, but we can lose faith. We can lose faith in our body's ability to take care of things, in our body's ability to regulate sleep, and the result can look as if we lost an ability. So just losing the faith in our body's, own capacity to just take care of sleep can make us nervous and can make us scared and stressed, and then we don't sleep, and then it looks like what we're scared of has happened. It can be really, really confusing, which then leads us to the third and final point here, which is like, how do we find what we're looking for when this has happened? And I want to start off with actually something that was a comment in the comment section here on YouTube, and somebody said, sleep is not the cure for insomnia, which sounds so shocking when we hear that, right? Sleep is not the cure. What do they mean? Well, here's the thing. I've had many, many followers, students, clients who actually sleep, an amount that's is quite typical. People who sleep like 7 hours, 8 hours per night, but they still have that monk on their back. They're still scared of what happens if I don't sleep, and still feel nervous and ponder sleep a lot. So what I want to point out here, that what we're looking for can seem like I just want to sleep more. But if we're still scared of not sleeping, we can sleep more and still be just as affected by insomnia. So what we're looking for is actually not sleep. It's peace of mind. What we really want is peace of mind, and of course, like peaceful sleep, but that follows peace of mind. That comes from peace of mind, and peace of mind comes from education, from understanding. And I really emphasize this, because when we think like, oh, I lost sleep, I got to find it again, then it's tricky. But when we see that, oh no, what I really want is actually peace of mind, and everything else follows from there, then we're on a really nice trajectory. And we find peace of mind when we're educated, and also when we see that what we want, which is peaceful mind and peaceful sleep and peace of mind, it actually requires nothing. It is passive and happens all by itself. And so this can happen even when we don't have faith that it's possible. Because of what I said here, it can make it sound like, oh my gosh, I lost faith in my body's ability to regulate sleep. I got to have that faith. I got to find that faith again, which leads us to more struggle. But really, just seeing things clearly, being educated, that helps. But peaceful sleep and peace of mind, it actually requires nothing, not even faith that it is possible to arrive where we want to be. So I hope that really made sense to you and resonated with you and was helpful to you. Let me know in the comment section what you thought, and if you are finding your way to where you want to be, if you're feeling things getting easier for you, sleep happens easier, the monkey's coming off, you're feeling like yourself again, that is wonderful. Do share it. Let us know. But if it is tricky, if you're not quite there, if you'd like some help, support, guidance on your way to that place where you feel free and you're living the life you want to live, then please head over to our website, check out our coaching options. And if you decide to join, we look forward to seeing you on the other side. With that said, I hope you have a really nice rest of your week, and look forward to having you back soon. Bye for now.